Imagine a door with 1,000 locks, and glyphosate can bring only 100 keys to open it. Even more concerning, weeds are evolving resistance mechanisms that can defend against multiple different herbicides aimed at multiple different target sites. To belabor the metaphor, an entire keyring. Enzymes in a plant cell can act like a vigilant doorman, stopping different weed killers near the entrance and neutralizing them before they ever reach their destination. Scientists hypothesize that these doorman enzymes are active to some extent even in the tiniest seedlings. A baby Palmer amaranth plant may be able to disable herbicides that were sprayed before it emerged from the soil. Ultimately, Roundup was no match for the pigweed's evolutionary vitality. Roundup-resistant Palmer amaranth populations quickly spread through the south, then moved north, hidden at times in cottonseed hulls used for animal feed. Once consumed, the tiny seeds passed intact through the digestive systems of the cows that ate them. Farmers who sprayed the contaminated cow manure on the fields, a common practice as a cheap form of fertilizer, unwittingly assisted the weed's spread. Palmer amaranth, the ultimate opportunist, now grows in at least 39 states. It's not as if no one saw this coming. Globally, 263 species in some 71 countries are known to have evolved resistance to herbicides, encompassing nearly every major class of weed killer on the market. In the 1970s, a decade after Rachel Carson published her landmark exposé Silent Spring, the entomologist Robert Vanden Bosch coined the term pesticide treadmill, a concept referring to the slow escalation in the potency of the chemicals needed to control pests and maintain crop yield. Resistance problems are not confined to weeds. Last fall, the EPA proposed phasing out certain species of corn that are genetically modified to kill insects after tolerance was reported. Already, Hartzler says, herbicide costs have more than doubled for most U.S. farmers over the last 10 or 15 years as the treadmill slowly speeds up and they're forced to buy more and more chemicals. This is a relatively recent reversal. For decades, weed killers got better and better as old technologies fell by the wayside. You burn out one product, but what you replace it with is better than what you were using before, he says. And that's basically how it was from the 1950s until the turn of the century. In '96, we had Roundup Ready, and that was the top of the mountain. In the years since Roundup's introduction, no better weed killer has been invented. Instead, companies like Bayer are developing GMO crops that allow farmers to layer Roundup with other older herbicides that work only on certain weeds and come with environmental side effects. Each new product is a step back down from Roundup. Now we're going downhill, Hartzler says, and that's why we're in such a big moment of change. In not very many things in our lives do we go back.